Well, hello, IDS 105 students, and welcome to week 3, module 3 here in the IDS 105 learning community. Today, I'm going to talk through your topic and assignments for your week 3 in your IDS 105 course, and that centers in all on the concept of cultural fluency. Plus, I'm going to take a minute to go over your next project draft and other assignments you have this week in IDS 105. As always, your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of instruction or course design that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the Online Accessibility Center, also known as the OAC, as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email them directly at oac@snhu.edu or visit their Online Accessibility Center website. As a reminder, this team or department here at SNHU is here to help learners get content that works for their learning style. If you have questions about this or want to know more, please reach out directly to the OAC team. Couple of webinar reminders. This is an academic space, so always be mindful of your conduct. So webinars are an academic space, your Brightspace classroom is an academic space, and the same applies to SNHU Connect, either the social or the academic side, and any of the first year experience YouTube pages where you might see the webinar. Remember, humans read and see all comments, so always be mindful of your conduct. These webinars here in the learning community are not graded. They are also not required, but they will help you learn about how to do and how to find your assignments from week to week. Plus, we go over concepts that you are working on in your course. So, module 3, week 3, couple of just reminders. Y'all, it's so important that you are being consistent and reviewing and reading those course announcements that your faculty put together every week. They are chocked full of reminders. They break down the concepts and assignments that you are covering. It's just really important to make sure that you are reviewing that announcement space in your Brightspace classroom. Also, do not forget to check your university SNHU email. That is how the university communicates with you. If you are stuck, if you have questions, connect with your faculty as soon as possible, okay? It is always important, especially if you have questions on grades or specific assignment questions, to get with your instructor first, because that is who can typically answer the question the best for you, okay? Every instructor has an email address, but you can also check that My Instructor Announcement section of the announcements part of your Brightspace class and see if your instructor has a phone number that you can either call or text message with for any questions or needs that you may have. Don't be afraid to reach out. We want you to be successful, okay? So, y'all, the first 2 weeks are under wraps. Woohoo! Way to go. This week, coming up here in week 3, module 3, you have 2 assignments. One, you are working on the next part of your project. So you have another project draft. Project draft part 2 is due this week. That is due by Sunday this week. And then you have a discussion assignment. As a reminder, initial discussion posts are always due by Thursday of the week that they are assigned. And then you need to respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday or before is convenient for your schedule. Same with that project draft part 2 assignment. It's due by Sunday, but if you want to work on it earlier in the week, that's totally fine. Couple of things to keep in mind about your assignments this week. For that project draft, you are working off a template. That template is a Microsoft Word document, so it's really important that you have Microsoft Word or something compatible so that your instructor can open and review the assignments that you are submitting. If you do not have Microsoft Word or something compatible, you do get Office 365 for free as an SNHU student. So remember, you can find that underneath the Online Student Services area of your classroom when you click on Help, okay? Video note submissions are not permitted for project draft, so it has to be a written assignment. And it's really important to make sure that you're paying attention to which questions you are answering for the project draft. Remember, this project draft template is a working document throughout the term. So last week in week 2, module 2, you picked a scenario and answered the questions for part 1. This week, you're going to do part 2, okay? So the topic this week is all about cultural fluency. So what does cultural fluency mean? So if you Google it, or if you look it up, or when you review your course material, when someone is said to have cultural fluency, It means that this person can effectively navigate different communication styles across many cultures, okay? So somebody that is known to be culturally fluent typically has an understanding of the following: other cultures' customs, beliefs, values, attitudes, and behaviors. So sometimes this might be considered something like a well-rounded individual that has a lot of knowledge about different cultures, how they communicate, what their customs are, their beliefs, their values, their attitudes, and behaviors, okay? So that is just a quick synopsis of what cultural fluency is, which comes into play especially for your assignments this week. So for your discussion assignment this week, initial post is due by Thursday, responding to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday or before as convenient for your schedule. You are answering the following question. Number 1, describe a real situation that you have experienced or witnessed. This could be at school, work, maybe while you're traveling, or even in a social setting where cultural fluency and self-awareness made a difference, or it could have made a difference, okay? So you're going to think of a situation that either you've experienced or witnessed, and it could be anywhere, where cultural fluency and self-awareness made a difference or could have made a difference. So what you're doing is you're describing what happened, and you want to explain how applying cultural fluency and self-awareness could have or might have improved the experience or changed the outcome. And then you also want to share how have the lessons and skills you have learned so far in this course influenced the way you view your relationships and interactions with others. As always, write in complete sentences, and I always tell students the more details and examples you can give, it just helps fully explain your thoughts, okay? Initial discussion post due Thursday. Respond to at least 2 of your classmates by Sunday or before. I want to remind y'all, those classmate responses are key. If you do not do both of them, you lose major points. So make sure you're getting all of your discussion assignment done, okay? Now, let's talk about the project draft. So let's think back. What scenario did we pick back in Module 2? Because you're sticking with the same one. So you either picked school, personal, workplace, or you might have created your own scenario, right? If you need a refresher on where that template is, or you need to look at the template again, or you need to look at the scenarios again, you will always find that under Module 2, that very first project draft assignment, okay? I just want to remind you that template in case you lose it or need it, and those scenarios are underneath Module 2. So last week you answered the questions in Part 1. This week, you're going to use that scenario that you picked, the same one you used in week 2. You're going to use that scenario, and you are going to think about experiences that you have been through and what we've learned so far in our class, and you're answering the following questions. Number 1 is about self-awareness. So what you want to do is describe how cultural fluency benefits your self-awareness with specific examples. So things to think about. Think about how understanding cultural differences can help you reflect on your own assumptions, values, and behaviors, right? Question 2 is centered in on cultural fluency. Describe how to demonstrate cultural fluency in your chosen scenario that you picked or created with specific examples. So what you want to do is explain specific actions or communication strategies that you would use in the scenario to show respect for cultural differences and to build mutual understanding. What I want to point out here is this asks you to explain specific actions or communication strategies, plural. Make sure you have at least 2, okay? As always, use the scenario you picked or the scenario you created. Think about your own experiences. Think about the concepts and lessons that we have learned so far in our course. Sometimes we might need to create or embellish the details and examples a little bit to make it all make sense, but put it together in a way that works for you, but answers the question using your experiences and the scenarios. Again, if you are stuck or you have questions, get with your instructor, okay? This assignment, again, is due by Sunday or before as convenient for your schedule. All right? So let's switch gears just a little bit. As a reminder, y'all, it is so easy to get caught up when we are stuck on something or we're not sure on something. This is your reminder to push the easy button and reach out and connect for your success, because you have so much support here at SNHU. Often I hear from students that they don't want to bother anybody. They maybe just don't have the time to send that email or reach out, or they don't want somebody to think that they're less than smart, or they're not sure what to say, or they're nervous. I want you all to take a big deep breath and remember that you are a college student. You have to learn how to advocate for yourself and your best experience. So if you're stuck on something, you're not sure on something, you want to ask for assistance and push that easy button, because we want you to be successful here at SNHU. And if you're stuck or have questions, we're not going to know unless you reach out, okay? So you can access the university resources so many ways. You can find them on MySNU, you can find them from Brightspace. Every single department has a phone number and an email address. You can always check in with your faculty to see if they text message. Plus, there's a lot of webinars, both from the academic support team, but also you have the first year experience webinars like this webinar right here that are all here for your success, okay? So I want to run through just a few situations you might find yourself in and why it's important to reach out and connect to resources for your success. One is to ask early. Y'all, we know that life happens and continues, right? We have added school to probably an already really full plate. But as you're looking ahead at your course and you're looking at assignments or things that are coming up, if you know that you have a life event or something going on, maybe you have a baby coming, maybe you're getting married, maybe you're going to travel for work, maybe your work season gets real busy or it slows down, whatever it might be. But if you see that you have something coming down the line in your class and you have questions about it, ask early. Don't wait until that week or that day. Ask early so you can best prepare for your success, okay? That's why you have the syllabus. It's why you can pop open your class, go to the Start Here area, look over your course syllabus, see what's due, what's coming up. You can look ahead in your modules, see what's due, what's coming up. If you're stuck or have questions, ask early. Don't wait, okay? Another example is to ask when you don't understand. Sometimes there might be terminology that you're not familiar with, or a concept that like you've never experienced before, or maybe it's something technical and you just don't understand how to do something. That is a wonderful time to connect with your course instructor and say, hey, I'm really stuck on this topic, or I'm not sure if I'm understanding this concept correctly, okay? Those are great conversations to have with your faculty. And if it's something that's technical or something that they don't know how to help you with, they will help you navigate to either the IT department who can help you, or your advisor who can help you, or academic support, okay? So always reach out when you don't understand. Ask when there's a situation. I kind of mentioned this early. Life can be lifing. We can have babies come early, babies come late. We can get hurt. We can have health issues. We can lose loved ones. We can have accidents. I've had students with broken arms, broken fingers. Electricity goes out, Wi-Fi goes down. They have to travel for work. Kiddo drops the iPad or the laptop. Like something happens. Life happens, y'all. You won't be the first or last student that it happens to. But what matters is that you keep showing up and you connect with your faculty or advisor if stuff is happening. Because if life is happening and you're falling behind or not turning in great work or not turning in work at all, you will struggle. When you connect with your resources, we can help make a plan for you to either get back on track or to stay on track for your success, okay? I always tell students a great time to reach out and ask too is ask when you're frustrated. Make sure you take a deep breath first and reach out appropriately and kind. But sometimes there might be a document you're trying to upload and like it is just not working, or like your email is not working right, or you put together the template and it's like, oh my gosh, why isn't this formatting right? Whatever it might be, take a deep breath. There's always a way to fix it, and we can always get you connected for your success. So make sure that you are reaching out and ask those questions, because you do not have to do this alone. We are so excited for you that you chose SNHU to partner with for your academic journey. So let us support you. We have amazing teams and departments that are here to help you. So reach out. Advocate for yourself, ask the questions. And I love this quote by Liz Lamore. Sometimes asking for help is the bravest move you can make. You don't have to go it alone. We got a lot of support here at SNHU. We have so many teams and departments that are here to help you. And I always like to share this really quick graphic because it's a reminder, and it's not even all of the SNHU departments, but underneath SNHU resources, underneath academic support, you're going to find that 24/7 drop-in tutoring for all kinds of subjects. That's literally a click away. You're going to find written feedback underneath academic support, where you can upload and submit your writing assignments, those drafts, select the areas you want your tutor to focus on, and you get feedback within 12 hours. Really pretty cool, right? All free. because it's already part of your tuition, right? You have the learning community webinars that walk you through assignments and those focus videos if you need some help and extra support there. Maybe you're starting to explore your career options, or maybe you're trying to figure out that LinkedIn LinkedIn profile account, whatever it might be. SNHU Career is already here from the very beginning. You don't have to wait till graduation. You have amazing academic advisors that can connect you to any resources here at SNHU. Anything technical or help desk is literally a click away. The Shapiro Library has tons of resources, especially if you're looking for citation support or help. They have great resources for you. SNHU Connect on the social side, you can find those clubs and organizations if you want to plug in and get involved in that manner. On the academic side, you have the learning community here for IDS 105. Plus, we have an incredible SNHU wellness team and resources that are here to support your whole being, okay? Outside of the classroom, I'm sure each and every one of you have different support systems that are out there, but remember, none of it matters if you are not connecting and advocating for yourself. You do not have to do this alone. You have so much support here, and I just really wanted to make sure that I reminded you of that, okay? So I want to take a quick look at the classroom environment just to double check a few things before I let you go today. Remember, when you log into that Brightspace environment, across here at the top, I want to remind you under course menu, you have those learning modules. If you click on start here, you'll find that copy of your syllabus, what's due, what's coming up. That way you can always stay on track with everything, right? Also up here at the top, you have the Shapiro Library. Remember, I said they have wonderful citing your sources information in case you need to be doing that. This class is APA style, wonderful resources right here. Academic support, as always, if you click on academic support, it's going to pull up their menu of services. So many students love the written feedback area because they get that targeted feedback and you can upload that draft. Remember, be specific with what you want the tutor to focus on. Don't just upload something and say, look this over for me. It's not going to be helpful. Be specific. There's also amazing workshops on so many different topics, so many different things that you can actually register for these live group sessions. But let's say you can't make it. As long as you register, you're going to get an email with a copy of that workshop recording that you can watch when it's convenient for you, which is really pretty cool. Sometimes you might need a little bit of more one-on-one support, so you could always explore the academic coaching section of academic support too. Again, it's just extra support that is here for your success at SNHU. The other thing I wanted to show you underneath help, remember, you can always connect with the IT service desk, but if you click on online student services, y'all, this pulls up every single department here at SNHU, okay? Really quick, it's just a nice space where everybody is. If for some reason you don't have that Microsoft Word or something compatible, click the blue, gets you where you want to go, always in your classroom space. Click on Office 365 and other software and follow the prompts for Office 365. If you get stuck or aren't sure how to do it, reach out to the help desk or your advisor can guide you too, okay? Also, remember, we have all of these other amazing departments down here like SNHU Wellness, SNHU Connect, the career team. Here's that OAC team that I always talk about, Student Financial Services, and more. They're literally just a click away, which I wanted to make sure that I reminded you all that they're just right here, okay? So for this week, remember, we are in Module 3. So when you click on Learning Modules, navigate yourself to Module 3. Just really quick, I want to remind you that here, as you scroll through, you're going to see you have a discussion assignment on cultural fluency. Here's the questions. Please click on your module. Your module guide is really important to pick up. You want to review the actual information that is within your module. So always make sure that you are scrolling through this, okay? And of course, too, there's always that required resources section that goes over any textbook chapters or extra reading or videos that is going to help you in answering your assignments from week to week, okay? So I wanted to just remind you of that. Again, you have that discussion assignment on cultural fluency. Initial post due Thursday, peer responses due by Sunday or before is convenient for your schedule. Make sure you're responding to at least 2 of your classmates, and writing just a couple of sentences won't cut it. You need to be more substantial in your feedback, okay? Now, when we click on this project draft part 2, remember to click on guidelines and rubric. It pulls up an overview of your assignment and what you're answering. Remember, you are answering part 2. There's just a couple of questions, right? So underneath what to submit, you're going to see a reminder to use that project template and you're completing part 2. Remember, that project template is back in module 2. So if you need a refresher on the project scenarios or the template itself, you want to make sure that you actually click directly on module 2. Let me go back here to module 2. And you want to click on that part 1 draft. And when you do that, it's going to open up what you did in week 2. But scroll to the bottom and here's that project template again. And then here's a copy of those project scenarios. Now, when you pop open that project template, remember mine has highlights because this is just my way of showing you the different sections. Yours will not, okay? So you have already chosen your scenario and listed it, or if you created your own, you put all the details and information here, right? Last week in week 2, you did part 1. This week you are doing part 2. So it says right here, complete this section in module 3. Okay. So you're answering those questions. And then coming up in week 4, you're going to do part 3. So we have 2 more sections after this week, but you're only answering part 2 here for week 3, module 3 of your IDS 105 class. Okay. All right, y'all. So I think that kind of goes over everything that you have due this week. As a reminder for week 3, module 3, project draft part 2, and then you have a discussion assignment for IDS 105. If you get stuck, if you have questions, y'all, just a reminder to reach out to your instructor first and always tap into any of the SNHU resources. Y'all go have an amazing week 3. And remember, you got this.